And I would like to thank the Academy for this wonderful award we won last week. You know, it's the little people that make these things possible. People like Seth and all the people in the news that make our jobs so easy. I would also like to thank my great Aunt Sally.
Coming to you from the LUTV studios, it's Late Night Lion. This week, Jon sits down with Kat Olsen from the Campus Activities Board. And now, here's your host, John Fisher.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. You know, spring's finally got here, and I gotta say, I'm not a fan of our guests here on campus. I'm, of course, referring to the return of the geese.
Agreed, John. Horrible animals. The worst, nasty animals.
You know, I got attacked by one on the way here. Can you believe that?
Oh, just horrible. If it were up to me, we'd send them all back.
Send them where?
Canada, John. Send them all back to Canada.
What? Seth, I'm really confused. What?
The U.S. has become a dumping ground for everybody else's geese. It's true, and these are the best and the finest. When Canada sends its birds, they're not sending the best. They're not sending ducks. They're not sending doves. They're sending geese that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing razor-line beaks. They're angry. They make that weird hissing sound, and some, I assume, are good waterfowl.
Seth, where's this coming from?
I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me, and I'll build them very inexpensively. I'll build a great wall on our northern border, and I'll have Canada pay for that wall.
Careful. Seth, someone might take that out of context and might think you're a racist.
Let's make Lindenwood safe again.
I'm not even going to touch on the fact that geese can fly. Anyway, a man in Afton has been charged with stealing 104 boxes of nuts from his employer. Surveillance videos show the employee stealing the nuts, which are valued at over $13,000 from Kerry ingredients and flavors. Police recently released a mugshot of the suspect. A St. Charles family was recently featured on the HGTV show Caribbean Life while looking for a new home in Belize. In related news, individuals from St. Louis were recently featured in episodes of America's Most Wanted, Cops, Criminal Minds, American Crime Story, NCIS, Dateline NBC, Unsolved Mysteries, Cold Case Files, and Cupcake Wars. Barrel Bob, the mascot of the Missouri Department of Transportation, has been kidnapped. See, there he is. He's so majestic. It's been a rough few months for Bob ever since he was set on fire in October. MoDOT has apparently received a ransom note that simply reads, "Give us what we want or there will be more of this. I warn you, the following image is pretty graphic." I can't even tell what part of him that is. We've got a great show for you guys this week. Kat Olsen from the Campus Activity Boards is here, so stick around.
People who have more birthdays live longer.
Thank you, and welcome back. Our guest this week is Kat Olsen. She is the Night Events Chair for the Campus Activity Board here at Lindenwood. Welcome, Kat.
Hi.
Hi. So what is the Campus Activity Board?
The Campus Activities Board puts on events for the students. They're usually free events, and we always have stuff going on. Yeah. There's about 80 events a semester that we put on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of events. So how did you get involved with CAB?
I needed a work and learn, and one of my sorority sisters had mentioned that CAB was looking for some new people to put on the board, and she told me what it was all about, and I said, that sounds really cool. So I applied and interviewed, and I got the job, so I was really excited.
That's great. So what kind of events do you plan as the night events chair?
I plan events that start after 5, so I do a couple Pinterest nights. I'm doing, coming up, I'm doing a Cardinals versus Cubs night where at Evans, just a wide variety of things for students to do who have class during the day, so they have something to do at night. Great,
great. And are there any big events coming up at Lindenwood that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, we have the Spring Carnival coming up, Spring Fleeing Week. The theme is Safari, so that kicks off on April 10th, And with that, we're doing a zoo scavenger hunt where we'll actually pay for you guys to be bused down to the St. Louis Zoo and you do a scavenger hunt, and there'll be food provided as well. That starts at 11, so there'll be a place to meet to get on the bus, and we'll be down there till around 5, and we'll come back for that. And going along with the theme of safari, we have Jeff Corwin coming, and he's the student choice speaker. And then we also have the carnival on the 16th.
Great. So you got a full schedule planned
Yes,
ahead.
there's lots of events going on that week, and other organizations are also putting on events during that week. So just go to the Student Life and Leadership page on Facebook, and you can find out more about that.
Yeah. And does CAB have student volunteers that go through and help with the events?
Yes, we would love volunteers to come help us. This time of year is when we have a lot of our big events, like the Spring Carnival that I just mentioned. We have the Splash Dash coming at the end of April, and we also have Evans Unlocked coming out in the May, but right before finals. So if you want to get involved with that, you can stop by the Students Resource Center up in Evans, and you can give us your Lion Mail, and we'll love to have you guys come down.
Great, great. And with the Campus Activity Board, there's been a lot over the years that they've put on. What has been your favorite event that CAB has put on?
My favorite event that they put on is probably the Evans Unlocked, because it's crazy. It's one last shebang before the end of the school year. You can get together with your friends. It's like nonstop giant party going on in Evans.
Yeah, I've noticed it's kind of different from other universities because we really try to bring as many students in as possible. And I know other universities do, but if there's that one centralized thing, and Evans Unlocked is great. What else makes CAB different from other universities?
I feel like we try to do what we think's best with the students, what the students want. We're really focused on trying to focus on getting the student body together as a whole and trying to plan events that they might be interested in. And because people are always saying there's nothing going on campus, so we want to try to change that and be like, it's not that boring. Come on, we have things to do going on.
Yeah, great. And would you say that's kind of what's important about CAB, is that it gets students involved and helps them academically?
Yeah, we want to have, we want students to feel like they can have fun at college too. That doesn't involve like the whole drinking thing and like going on Maine. We want to provide like something here that they can do and have fun.
Great, great. So thank you for coming here today.
Thank you for
it was a
having
great
me.
interview. And you guys can come in. Up next, we will have a special event that I will talk about coming up. And you can also follow Lindenwood Cab on Instagram. And we will see you coming up.
This week's episode is brought to you by monkeys going into space. If only someone remembered to give them an oxygen supply.
Around the Earth. This is the preliminary, all-important step in space research that the U.S. insists on being successful.
Welcome back, welcome back. This is the part of Late Night Lions where we normally do something fun and different every week. For example, last week we played Late Night Pop Quiz. We were going to have a whole skit where we talked to students about fake upcoming changes to Lindenwood, just to see how they would react. We talked to one girl to hear what she had to say, and then we just packed up and left. With that being said, take a look.
So they're charging us about $240 to maintain the protection of these geese. What do you think about this charge?
It's funny because my hometown, we actually just killed a bunch of them and fed them to the homeless people in soup. So, and like that's not a joke at all. So,
I think it's a pretty good idea. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode of Late Night Lions. We're gonna cut it short this week because, spring break. Seth and I are gonna go to Panama City Beach. Oh, but this is a reminder, there's no show next week because we'll need a second to decompress after break. However, after that, we're going to give you a sneak peek into Lindenwood's next student production, The Liar, in which I play Durant, who is the liar. So make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Late Night Lions. Links are posted below. Have a good spring break.